Hey guys, welcome to Critical Beauty. So the next edition of Miss Universe will take place in Mexico City on November 16, 2024. A total of 130 countries and territories are expected to participate in this year's edition, which will be the biggest so far in the pageant's 73-year history. But it seems that the Miss Universe organization, in its mission to position itself as the most prestigious and most popular pageant, is currently drowning in bureaucratic mess. In this vlog, I'm going to be focusing on the irregularities that have occurred since the partnership between Anne Jacques-Rajotatip and Raul Rocha Cantu materialized. As you know, this power couple are co-owners of the world's most influential pageant. But before I continue, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would truly appreciate if you could click the subscribe button and the bell icon below to receive instant notification for the next video. Let's start with the new national directors who have been lucky enough to get a franchise or two. As you know, last year's national director for Indonesia and Malaysia, Capella, was forced to resign after several contestants in Miss Universe Indonesia 2023 pageant filed a police report accusing the organization of sexual harassment by subjecting the girls to topless body checks. So as a result, not only did Poppy lose Indonesia, but she also lost Malaysia. Now fast forward to 2024. Guess who's back? Capella. MEO decided to forgive Poppy by offering her two new franchises, UAE or United Arab Emirates and Cyprus. Remember 2 years ago when the UAE was supposed to debut in Miss Universe but it never happened? So to this day, no one really knows why the national pageant never materialized either. But now, with Poppy as the new director, should we expect for a pageant to actually take place, or will the UAE representative be appointed? When her name was announced as a UAE director, several pageant fans expressed their discontent. They questioned if Poppy is familiar with Arab culture or if she has any ties at all to UAE. One fan commented, and I quote, "As an Arab pageant content creator, I don't recognize Poppy and she knows nothing about the traditions and cultures of UAE and Cyprus." This content creator could be right. However, for me, I believe that MEO offered the franchises to Poppy because she probably placed the highest bids. And it does help that one of her best friends is the co-owner of Miss Universe. But we all deserve a second chance in life, and I think Poppy has learned from her mistake last year, and I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt. So, who is the new franchise owner of Miss Universe Indonesia? Well, a Malaysian company named Zetrix. I have never heard of this company before, so I Googled it, and this came up. Zetrix is a layer 1 public blockchain designed for government and enterprise level Web3 applications. Zetrix builds next generation real world applications harnessing AI and blockchain technologies. So it appears that the Miss Universe organization sold the Indonesian franchise to a company that specializes in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, NFTs, and other digital records transactions. Indonesian fans are not happy that a foreigner is now running the national pageant, but they're even more depressed that two of the favorites for the crown decided to withdraw from the contest due to certain clauses in the contract that they disagree with, such as the 30 to 40% commission will be taken from the earnings of the winner, that they have to be nightclub's brand ambassador, aka prostitute, and that they will have to pay a penalty of $525,000 US if they break the contract. I think these laws are insanely unreasonable, and I applaud the two girls for being smart enough to withdraw. Indonesian fans were really hoping, to crown a strong and beautiful queen to send to Mexico, but sadly, their hope turned to despair. Okay, so now let's talk about Armenia. Last week, former Miss Universe Armenia 2022, Christina Ayanyan, took to her social media to criticize the appointment of the Armenian delegate for this year's pageant, 31-year-old singer Irina Zakharova, who happens to be Russian and not an Armenian citizen. Also, the pageant took place in Russia and had both Russian and Armenian contestants living in Russia. Now, let's watch Christina's video and let it speak for herself.
Hey, pageant world. As the last Miss Universe Armenia, I wanted to bring to your attention the selection of the current Miss Universe Armenia 2024. To start, the new license holder of Miss Armenia held the Miss Armenia pageant in Moscow, Russia, not in Armenia. And the winner of Miss Universe Armenia 2024 is Russian. Per the Miss Universe international rules, title holders must be a citizen of the country that they're representing, and they have to live in the country that they're representing for a certain period of time. The current Miss Universe Armenia 2024 is not a citizen of Armenia, is not of Armenian descent, and has not lived in Armenia. Becoming Miss Universe Armenia is not just a free ticket to go compete at Miss Universe. It is a full-time job. How can someone who does not identify as Armenian, who is not Armenian, speak to the rich heritage of our culture, represent our culture, our history, our people, be a voice for Armenia in a time where we need it most? I'm calling on the Miss Universe organization and its co-owners, Kun An and Raul Raka, to reverse this decision and allow Armenians to represent Armenia at Miss Universe.
The former director of the Miss Universe Armenia contest, Gohar Harutyunyan, told Russian state news agency Sputnik Armenia that since Thailand's JKN company bought the rights to organize the pageant 2 years ago, the rules for selecting participants had eased. And I quote, "At that time, there were strict laws that I followed. Even those from the diaspora did not have the right to participate in the national contest. Miss Universe Armenia, if they did not live in Armenia, they had to have an Armenian passport. They had to be under 28 years old, unmarried," Harutyunyan said. He also said that anyone could now participate regardless of their age, marriage status, or whether they had children. In addition, the national director of the competition can also be anyone who can pay the most money to participate. That's right, who can pay the most money to participate. After the Miss Armenia pageant was suspended in 2022 due to a lack of sponsorship, the change in the policies allowed Yulia Pavlikova, a Russian national originally from Crimea, to acquire the rights to hold the competition. So, as some of you may know, Yulia was Miss Earth Bulgaria 2021, Miss Grand Crimea 2022, and Miss Universe Bulgaria 2023. She did not place in any of those pageants, but now she also holds the rights to the Miss Universe Estonia competition. And get this, Diana Davtyan, the winner of Miss Universe Armenia 2019, said that she learned on social media that this year's winner, Irina Zakharova and Yulia Bikova, have had close ties since 2022. Now, let's talk about New Zealand. As some of you may know, Frankie Russell, who was supposed to represent New Zealand in Miss Universe 2024, was dethroned almost 3 weeks ago, and that the New Zealand franchise was taken away from our national director, Josh Hugan, who also owns the franchises for Pakistan, Bahrain, and Egypt. When asked for the real reason as to why she was dethroned, Frankie stated during an interview that her previous work and films with a movie studio that specializes in erotic subjects, even though she did not do frontal nudity. She said that she was shocked by her dethronement and that Josh Hugan tried to fight for her and her title, and that she did not receive any formal letter or explanation for her dethronement. Now, if there's anything that I hate the most is that when you are dismissed by your employer and they don't tell you the reason why. This is exactly what happened to Lupita Jones, who for nearly 30 years had been the national director for Mexico. So Miss Universe terminated Lupita without telling her, and she only found out from a friend. So to me, the way Miss Universe treated Lupita was kind of rude and disrespectful, and this probably was the same sentiment that both Josh and Frankie felt after they were dismissed. So who is the new national director of Miss Universe New Zealand? It's Maria Sianco, a certified professional photographer, professional stylist, and finance master data manager. She holds licenses for international pageants such as Miss Asia Pacific International, Miss Globe, Miss Intercontinental, Miss Scuba International, and Miss Tourism of the World. Good luck to her. And last but not least, Fiji. You all probably know by now about the huge scandal that happened in Miss Universe Fiji 2024 pageant over 2 weeks ago. They originally crowned Manchika Prasad as the winner, but 2 days later, she was uncrowned and was replaced by the first runner-up, Nadine Roberts, due to alleged grounds of rigged voting and protocols not being followed by the pageant organizer, Grant Dwyer, who allegedly had pressured the judging panel to vote in favor of Manchika as they allegedly stood to gain financially by having a Fiji Indian participate in the Miss Universe pageant. There were originally 7 judges in the panel, and 4 judges voted for Manchika. However, the pageant organization claimed that there should be an 8th judge, who is the major sponsor, Lux Projects, a real estate company whose CEO turned out to be Nadine's husband, Jamie McIntyre, and that the sponsor would have voted for Nadine and that they would also have the right to break the tie. So after thorough investigation, the Miss Universe Fiji organization, via a press release posted last week, stated that Nadine is the rightful winner, which meant that poor Manchika had to be uncrowned for the second time, all because of the incompetence and stupidity of the Miss Universe Fiji organization, who failed to properly vet the organizer, Grant Dwyer, and to monitor the selection process from beginning to end. Many Fijians defend Manchika and believe that she is the rightful winner, and not Nadine, who is actually Australian and moved to Fiji to establish residency so she could qualify for the Miss Universe Fiji. I actually posted a comment on the pageant organization's Instagram page rebuking their incompetence and unprofessionalism, but it was immediately taken down. I wonder why. Any idea? Did you guys know that when you apply to become a national director for Miss Universe, you have to pay the application fee of $1,000, which will be used to cover the cost of background checks. You also have to arrange a virtual interview with the Miss Universe organization representative and pass a 3rd background check. But despite the so-called rigorous background checks, the organization still has failed to properly vet every national director who applied for a franchise, which makes you wonder if Miss Universe is truly committed to its philosophy of transparency, fairness, and integrity. What do you think? Comment below. Thank you for watching, guys. Until the next time,